Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Dusty.
How are you guys?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, everyone.
Jim, I would like to have a conversation with you today if you have some time regarding Creek Enterprises.
Was that me?
Yes,
Pardon me, you said, I'm sorry.
later today, if you have some time, I'd like to have a conversation.
Okay,
So I don't know what your schedule's like.
I'm gonna be on a conference from 10 to noon. After that, I'm free.
Is that the new logo? I like it.
We're going to approve it today, but that's only one version of it. It's pretty cool. It's not done by me. I don't have that talent.
Looks good.
right, we got 15 of us here today so far. But it is 8:01, so if you don't mind, we'll get things started. Welcome to the November 11th, 2020 DDA board meeting. I welcome you all. In front of you, you should see the agendas. Everybody see the agenda? Excellent. Do we have Meredith with us yet? I don't think we do yet. Let's see.
See here, no.
There she is.
Meredith's on.
All right,
I'm
there
trying
she
to
is.
unmute myself. I'm here.
Okay, just want to make sure we have roll call, make sure everybody, I do have, Margaret had a conflict. So at one point here, we'll offer up a motion to excuse her, formally excused. Somebody else just came in.
And
All right. Meredith, do you have everybody accounted for?
I think I do. Is Kevin in there somewhere?
Yes, I saw him come in. That should be everyone. All right. Thank you. In front of you, you have the agenda. If there are any additions that you'd like to make to it, I'd like to have those at this time. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve.
Motion by David,
Second,
second by
Tim Roberts.
Tim Roberts. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All those
Aye.
opposed, the same. All right, let the record reflect that the agenda is presented as is. Now we have the minutes from our October 14th meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review? Thank you, Meredith, for great work on that. That was a difficult level 5 because you were behind us and couldn't hear anything, but hopefully you were able to, my assistant Ashley tried to help as much as possible.
Yes, thank you. That was super helpful.
Excellent. If there are no additions, correction, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Writer, so move.
David, second.
David, support. Any further discussion? All those in favor accept the minutes indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. All right, the record will reflect the minutes have been accepted by unanimous vote. All right, David, just want to get an update. Dara, the line was fantastic. How cool that is. Just wanted to hear what your thoughts were and how things are going there.
I have gotten pretty much positive feedback from the downtown restaurant and bar owners. They've just asked a couple of few questions. They're looking for the lids for the Dara cup, so I've had to send them some item numbers from GFS because that's my supplier. But they would have to work with their Cisco representative if they do have Cisco as a supplier for lids for the cups. But all in all, positive feedback. The ribbon cutting was fantastic. We had a wonderful turnout for that. I appreciate everybody that came out for that. And obviously, that's really pretty simple. All I have to report right now. I've not heard any negative feedback. I haven't heard anything about cups being on the ground and not in garbage cans or anything like that. So the first night that we had it, I participated in about 5 or 6 downtown restaurants and bars, and it went fairly well. And I see everybody has the logos on their cups. So I appreciate the work that everybody's done, and hopefully we can keep this going.
Thank you for being forthright with how many drinks you had that night.
Dave, do you have any idea?
I said I stopped at 5.
Do you
Go
have
ahead.
any idea how many, how I guess the quantity or like how many cups they've sold so far, or any idea like that, like how many are actually participating when it comes to their patrons at their businesses?
Some of them have, the cups are really not sold. They are just given away to the people once they do decide to leave. From a feedback standpoint, some restaurants are busier than others. But I haven't said they're going through a lot or a little. I think it's just depending on the demand of each particular establishment.
Thank you. I was just curious.
Yep.
I just didn't know how many were actually participating or how they felt about it. So.
Far as I know, everybody, I've gotten positive feedback. I was downtown last weekend and stopped at a few places, and they said so far so good. I mean, I don't think this is something that, like I said, is going to take off like a rocket. I think this is going to be one of those slow developers. But once I think you see spring come around, I think you're going to see a lot more activity, and especially when our first Fridays get back on track and things of that nature as well.
Excellent. So Mark Murray's having trouble with his audio and hearing, so I don't know if he can hear us. He's trying. Mark, you may have to come out of the meeting and go back in to see if it resets properly. If you can hear me. Or
It
Michelle.
looks like Diane's trying to say something down there too. You're muted, Diane. We can't hear you, Diane.
Your mute button, Diane.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
There hasn't been anybody that has come into any of the downtown businesses that I'm aware of with the cups. Friday night for our First Fridays, there wasn't anybody downtown with a cup that I saw. That's
I believe it, like David said, I think it'll catch on more in the spring. Wintertime, I suspect when we have the big Comstock Christmas walk, there'll be some activity at that time, I'm gonna guess. But did everybody see the big new tree? It's downtown. You gotta go down to Comstock Park. There's a 29-foot brand new Christmas tree that was graciously given by the Kapnick family, the Hickman family, and Kiwanis and the city of Adrian. So it's a nice addition to the overall celebration that's coming. So, okay, Brad, I know you sent me some balance sheets I've got here in front of us. I think if it's sharing properly, there it is. If you want to do that, or if you want to, okay.
So we haven't had any significant changes or expenses since the last month's report. I did double check on the $1,500 that we earmarked for Adrian for the seasons, and I'm making sure that gets transferred very, very soon. So
Okay.
that was the only thing on my to-do list from last month. So I think other than that, I think we're pretty much where we were.
So does this cash in the bank balance, has it been steadily increasing, would you say?
Yeah, over the last 2 years, we've done a really good job on controlling spending, I guess you'd say. And yeah, it's sitting there. Last month, I distributed that little graphic showing how much cash we had, and we're pretty much right on par with what that was last month.
So when we look at the revenue and expenditures, trying to get a feel for what kind of cash flow positive we have.
It's in the neighborhood of $40,000 annually.
Okay.
If you scroll down a bit there, you're going to see this special projects line item, which is right there in the middle of your screen. That's about its current balance, or the budgeted balance is $39,450. Now, we spent a small amount this year. That's mostly DARA related. And I did have a breakout of that, and literally it's three line items that are all DARA related. Other than that, we haven't made any major expenditures.
Excellent. Any questions for Brad on the financial reports? Mark, unmute.
Move to accept.
Been a motion to accept by Mark Murray. Is there support?
Second. Second, David.
Second by David. Any further discussion? All those in favor of accepting the financial report as presented, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All those
Aye.
opposed, the same. All right, the financial report is accepted into the record. Thanks again, Brad, for your work on that. All right, quickly, we'll move on. Jerry, anything happening with Adrian for the seasons and decorations?
Yes, we are decorating the flower pots for the downtown holidays on Sunday, this coming Sunday from 10 until we're done, probably 1 o'clock or so, behind City Hall. So getting all the pots delivered to one location and the greenery and stuff the same, so we can all work together, and then the pots can be distributed by the folks from City Hall on Monday. So anyone is welcome. Everyone is encouraged to join us. Big part of what makes the downtown look holiday friendly is those big flower pots all over. So we welcome all of DDA.
Jerry, can I ask you a question?
Please.
I noticed on the minutes from the last meeting, there's holiday decorating on Sunday, December 15th. Is
Right.
that's different than doing the holiday pots?
Nope, that's Sunday, this coming Sunday, we're doing the flower pots on Sunday, December 15th.
November 15th.
This is
I'm sorry,
November.
November 15th. What am I saying? November 15th.
So that's wrong in the minutes too.
Oh,
All right,
yeah. Good catch, Diane.
yeah. Glad you catch that.
I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
And Seth Borton is going to start his work the following week. I'm still waiting for some conversation with Matt from City Hall about closing the streets on a Sunday morning for the highlights to go up at the four corners. So there's a little confusion about how that gets coordinated. So we're working on that. But Seth is being engaged again this year.
So how is the balance in the Adrian for the season's balance? Where does it stand, Jerry?
I actually don't have that account balance, mostly because I've made some expenditures for this season.
Mhm.
So Matt and I meet tomorrow morning, so I'd be happy to send that out to DDA if people are interested. It's got a healthy balance.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that if we want to get out in front of that, if we need any extra funds or we need to fundraise, I don't want to get it down too small, so.
Yeah, no, I think we're fine for this year. Trying to figure out what we're gonna do. I want to have a larger kind of long-term plan for, what we want each season to look like. So working on that with a small committee of folks. There is a Facebook group. So if anyone is interested in being a part of that Facebook group, I'm happy to add you. So just let me know.
Excellent, great work, Jerry, thank you.
Mhm.
Everybody, please show up on Sunday if you can. We need it goes a lot faster when we have a lot of people because there's a lot of pots. How many are there, 60 or more?
Yeah, this year we're doing 22.
22 is all. All right.
And just a note to the DDA board, I have another appointment at 8:30, so I do have to leave early.
Understood. Any other questions for Jerry? Jerry, thank you.
Mhm.
Moving on to Emily, and we want to move quickly because I wanted to get Justin Gifford in here to talk about something for all of us of an opportunity in 2023. So Michelle, is it possible that you could give a co-host sharing to Justin for his time here?
Yep, let me just find him in my list here. We all set?
So I'll stop sharing. I got to stop, don't I? Yep.
Justin, can you hear us?
We can. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Are you able to share? Oh, there you go.
So I'll first give a little background and then we can talk about the potential future of the event that we were brought into. So a couple years ago, Visit Lenawee was approached by a group called the Region 4 Airstreamers Club Internationals. They're out of West Virginia. And at that time, the chairperson was actually out of the Detroit area. And they were looking at coming to Adrian in 2021. They started their pre-planning at the end of 2019. By that, I mean, they started having conversations on where they could park their Airstreams to camp, which is basically the fairgrounds. And then COVID started hitting and the 2021 event went away. So we've been contacted by the chairperson for the 2023 event. They enjoyed the information that was provided by us on the area and thought it would be a great addition to their 2023 agenda. The group would be bringing about 100 to 125 Airstreams to Adrian. And the concept behind this is they travel all over North America, and there's a group that actually travels throughout Europe with these as well. They bring them to an area just like you would see a car show and allow followers, local residents, and Airstream groupies, as they call them, to come and walk through their Airstreams. They are looking for a downtown event. They are looking at 2,900 to 3,500 feet of continuous curbing. It would be a day-long event. This group is very generous in the spending of their financial means. If you guys can see my screen, this is a smaller event that took place in Logan, Ohio, just a couple years ago. Be similar in setup for what they're looking to do here in Adrian. And while they're here, they'll be holding their annual meetings at the campground or at the fairgrounds. And each day they take up a collection from their participants that go to some nonprofit locally here in Adrian, just to kind of help support. So what we're looking for is the support of the DDA to submit an RFP to this group and welcoming them to the city of Adrian for the May 17th through the 21st of 2023. Their similar size events have brought in the range of 2,000 to 2,500 people. And that's with very little marketing on the participants' end. So if I think between the DDA, City of Adrian, and Visit Lenawee, we definitely could market this event to a wider region to bring in more individuals for this event.
Justin, this is Jerry. Can you just clarify? So they'll be at the fairgrounds or they'll be downtown? I'm
They
confused.
will come downtown for a one-day event.
Got it.
They camp at the fairgrounds.
So one of those days, May 17th through 23.
Yep.
Got it.
So let me hear your thoughts, everyone. What do you guys think? It's quite a spectacle. Brings a lot of people in the downtown. We were talking to them about the average size of each of these campers, and we figured, Justin, we could get at least 75 to 100 of them in downtown. And we'd have to have, of course, the streets closed and cleared out, but I think it could be a tremendous event. And you know, these particular Airstreams are not cheap. And so when he talks about financial means, I suspect that, you know, if anybody's priced an Airstream lately, you'll find that that's a pretty expensive toy. So I suspect that the people would have the ability to shop and participate in our restaurants and everything. I like the idea that it's in May. It's a little bit in front of the season activity. It's not on a first Friday, and I don't know if it conflicts with any major events in the community, being that early in the season.
That is the weekend of that would be a traditional weekend for a Croswell production.
It is, okay. What's the 17th? What day of the week is that? I don't have it in front of me.
It's a Monday. So
It's Monday, and yours start on Thursday, right?
we would probably do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, not saying we couldn't work around this, but like in the planning, you know, if it's more of a daytime event perhaps, and the parking lots closest to the Croswell could remain open or something. I mean, certainly happy to work with whoever's in the planning.
So the
Seems like
question, oh, go ahead.
The down
I'm sorry, Dan, please repeat, I interrupted.
thing, it sounds like a really good idea to help out the downtown. I like it.
My opinion, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it was kind of like the that car show group that we were supposed to get this year, but postponed just due to COVID-related reasons. I think, you know, I think the DDA, obviously as a board, we should definitely endorse this, and I'd be happy to work with Justin on this program as well.
Like to move, we support the event.
There's a motion by Mark to support the event, and that really means that we'll be part of the RFP process.
Yep.
Yes.
Second.
Second by, was that Tim?
Yep.
All right, that's been, has had a motion and has been supported. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, the same. All right, Justin, thank you for your hard work on this. Will be helpful. And of course, we probably need to get the city's blessing too, Greg. So we'll continue our discussions there.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, Justin, thank you. So we'll let him release the screen here and make me co-host again, Michelle.
You should be able to share as soon as
I got
Justin
it.
stops it.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. All right, that moves us on to, I'll move back to the top of the screen because I've got that, plus I have a bunch of others that the committee for working on logos was working on. Let me see if I can find, there they are. Can everybody see these logos? So, Emily, Drake, anybody wants to comment on these? We went through it a number of times with Haley, and I think we've come up with something special here.
Sure, I can go through and talk about the different versions here. So we wanted to stick to a core design that was fairly simple and flexible and would give us as many options to use it as possible. And so in this case here, we have at the top would be our base logo. So it's a very simple design. It scales nicely. It will look great blown up or very small on a business card or something like that. If we have an application that would benefit from a bit more detail, so if it's a large sign or if it's a computer graphic or what have you, we have this version here on the lower half of the screen that shows some extra windows and adds just a little bit more depth. And then if we have to print it black and white or monochrome, we have this version right here. So it's just simple outlines, single color, so that way it can scale nicely in that regard as well.
Excellent. So when I look at it, you can tell this is the Croswell, and then we have the Historic Museum, we have business buildings, so business, history, arts and culture, sort of says it in, you know, sort of gives you that feel. And I do like the simplicity, especially of the first one. We had a number of versions we looked at. We went back and forth with Haley Rising, and she did great. I think she went beyond her hours to help us. So we want to thank her if we see her, because we kept being a little picky and going back and forth. So great work by the committee. Is there anybody that has any opinions on this or any feelings that would like to comment?
Great
I just
work.
have a couple thoughts.
Mhm.
I like the logos. Obviously, I definitely like the two middle ones that actually show the windows.
Mhm.
My question is, obviously, as we transition into the main street, how do we incorporate that into these logos? Or is that going to be a different logo altogether?
I think that's a great question. It was like a little speech I gave one day to the committee, and just because we're getting up against time, December 4th and 5th, we're due
Yeah.
to present our communication plan and a few other things to the Main Street Committee, or our indication of interest, I should say. So I said, look, when we go through the process and we get picked as a select level, they're going to take a look at this logo and really help us fine tune it. And so if we get too caught up in the weeds here as far as whether or not this is the right logo for the long term, I'd try to ask us not to. I think it's good enough for moving forward. And as well, there's mission statement here that needed to get completed so that we could create those brochures of giving levels so that we could go out and get support in our community. So since we're up against that time, we're having to push a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but what Emily did do was take this mission statement and take it to Lee, who's with the Main Street Group, and said, what do you think? And she says it hits on everything we want it to hit on. So it's sort of been blessed by that group. So I don't know if we really want to tweak it any further. But if anybody has a hard objection to these, I'd like to know it now so that if we need to make any adjustments. But otherwise, we're going to go into production of creating those brochures.
And once we are accepted to the Main Street program, they do a separate rebranding like a year later, I believe. That is one of the services that they offer. So they will help us incorporate that Main Street tag to our logo.
Excellent.
Given that, I move we accept.
Been a motion. Was that Mark again?
Yeah.
There's a motion and there's a second. And that is to accept the logo and the mission statement. All right. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All those
Justin,
opposed
who was
to,
the second on that?
I don't know, actually. I should have slowed down.
That was
I
Tim
think it was
Roberts.
Tim.
Thank you.
Tim Roberts. Dave, yeah, Mark and then Tim. No further discussion? Did we already vote on that? I think we did vote on that, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes. All right, and then I don't have we have the website we've been working on. Has everybody seen the website? What am I doing? Oh, there's a cat. I see. Gotcha. I don't have the website up, but I want to pull this up. Has everybody seen the website the city has launched and the way it works with?
Yeah.
So we've been adding, Michelle, maybe you can, and Emily, we've been adding the local business directory. How's everything coming on all that?
I'm still working on that process because I took a break to start implementing the social media stuff that we had talked about for the communications plan. So I'm juggling it all, but slowly. So hopefully I'll have a communications plan at the December meeting that will be in its entirety. But with that timeline, also updating the website and getting the social media platforms ready to go. I can do that now that we have our logo as well.
Emily, we can't thank you enough for the work. I know you're juggling a lot and put a lot of pressure on you. So we really appreciate it. And Michelle, thank you too for getting it all up and pushing on the website too. It looks really nice. And it sets us up for something that we can show the Main Street group.
Sure, I've been continuing to add in businesses, so they're slowly getting added in there.
Awesome.
Thank you for your help, Michelle.
All right. Any questions for Emily? We're working, moving right along. I like it. Mark Murray, now that you can hear us talk and all that, what's going on with the charging station?
Well, I'm excited to report that Matt has said that the station will be up and running momentarily, literally this week. And so I just really am excited that we are the first in Lenawee to have a public station. And I want to commend the city for the support of that. and like to encourage us to have some kind of an opening event just to recognize that. The national charging network will be promoting our site for us, but I think it'd be important both on our website and at our businesses to say that we now have a charging station downtown. So I'd like to touch bases with Dusty and the city sometime here in the next month to have a small recognition of that station to get a little publicity for it, for the DDA and for the city.
Would we want to
Excellent.
have something like an electric car drive-in, put out a press release, see if anybody in the area who has an electric vehicle would want to come downtown and park?
Yeah, something like that, just to get a story on it. I think it's we should be proud that we have this in our community now.
I know a while back, Brad, you put all of our parking spots or our parking places on Google. Is there an opportunity that we can kind of promote that on Google as well? Could you help with that, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely add that as another location, and we'll see if it gets approved, basically, like, I don't know, Google's algorithms or whatever, but we could try to put it on there.
Okay. Just to give it a whirl, just to try to help, get it out there and help promote. Obviously, that other website will promote us as well, but just anything else we can get would be good.
Excellent, Mark. Thanks for staying on top of that. It took a while. We thought we'd come in this summer, but it's going to be implemented, and that's great. And I'm sure it'll be used by a number of people, but it really puts us on the map, especially when you turn on your Tesla and look for them. We're out in the middle of nowhere, so maybe it creates a path for people to pass through our county and through our city. So I think it's a great progressive move.
Dusty, we have a plug at the Armory on the back of the building where the National Guard used to have the Hummers charged. And over the past 6 months, we've had a number of cars that have showed up there and charged their cars, and they just come and plug in and we find them out back. So there's certainly a need for it. And now that we have an official city site, we're going to be really in great shape. Thanks for everyone for the support.
Superb. Thank you, Mark. All right. Any questions? Any other questions for Mark on that? All right, let me find our trees. Bear with me a second. I'll show you some trees if I can find them. I think I know where they're at. So, everybody can see the Crimson Sunset Maple. This will be throughout town. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
This is what was recommended by Mr. Lawrence. So this is just one of them. This will be throughout the downtown. Let me see if I can find the other one. This will be in the entrance areas. This is another color. These are a little bit smaller dwarf trees. They don't have the little helicopters. They don't have problematic. They don't get really huge. But the color is just beautiful, and you can see what they changed to with some of these colors in the fall. Most of the pears, if not all of them, are down, as you know, and when you look down the streets, you can see it's sort of wide open right now without the trees that we had. So he is working on trying to get 30 of these done before winter sets in. If he can pull that off, that's great. Otherwise, we're coming out in the spring with lots of new maple trees in downtown Adrian. I don't think this will be the only two. I think there's another one he's looking into, but he's had to look at the suppliers, see what they had, and really see if he could get some inventory. But everybody like this? Comments?
Yay.
So it's no action item necessary, but unless there's a problem from anybody who wants to see something different, we'll just keep pushing him to move forward.
Mr. Chair, I just checked with Jason just to update you. We got our first delivery of trees down at the Parks Garage, and we expect the rest to be delivered this afternoon, so they should be going in shortly.
Awesome. Cool stuff. Greg, is there any estimate? I don't have this on the agenda of street lamps, or are they still working on fine tuning what?
We made selections last week. It's traditional black pole, similar to what's in the parking lot out behind City Hall. We went with the glass globes as opposed to the plastic ones that have longer term durability. Just simple with a finial at the top, black finial at the top, but otherwise simple. And we're still waiting on change order pricing for the sound. But otherwise, the selections are done so they can get their ordering in. I don't frankly recall off the top of my head what the schedule for those is, but that was the first step. And they're 12 feet tall.
12 feet. Is there still a couple that are going to have the digital banners on them at the entrances?
Yes, we will. And then because they're more efficient and brighter, every other spot will become a bollard, and the bollards will have lighting in them as well, but not illuminating as such.
Awesome.
Just a
thank
quick
you.
question,
Sure.
just to confirm. I know we sent an email in regards to power at the four corners and at the end of the streets in those lamp posts, and then obviously GFIs on the lamp posts for Christmas tree or for lighting for Christmas and stuff. All that get confirmed as well?
Yes, there'd be power on those.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's going to go well with the Airstream thing too. I think they're going to need a little power.
Mm.
Our festivals and everything else that are going to be a part of the future. Awesome, Greg. Thank you. Appreciate the city and the commissioners and the mayor. Thank you all for supporting the DDA and that endeavor. It's going to look nice. All right, Diane, anything? I know Margaret gave me a text on bylaws. I know you guys have been working on them. Anything new that you'd like to
I was in the process of changing off of my laptop to my phone when I should have stopped everybody on the minutes from the last meeting, because Margaret's comments were that she thought that there was a sound problem at the meeting, and she wants to change to say after a complete review and revision, then the rest is fine, except that she also wants to add that we still need the city administrator to advise us on director liability coverage. Greg? And we need that in order to complete this job, which we would like to have completed by the end of the year, which would be in the December meeting. And if you could help out with that, Greg, I would really appreciate it. And Dusty, she mentioned to me that in the meeting last month that I wasn't able to attend, you talked a little bit about the ethics statement, which I had been questioning whether or not that should or shouldn't be in the bylaws. And I don't know if you've come to some kind of a conclusion about that, but if you could get with Margaret and me before the next meeting, we could get that accomplished, or drop it, whatever you decide you need to do. So I'm hoping that Meredith, I didn't go up too much with these changes, but and I don't really know what the procedure is if we have to make a change in the minutes after that we've already accepted the minutes.
So Meredith, do you have who made the motion and support on the minutes? I don't know if Meredith's on mute. I think you're on mute, Meredith.
I believe I may have moved on that.
It was Dave made the motion. Let's see, Jerry made the motion. Dave supported to accept the minutes with the amendment that the Adrian for the Seasons decorating is November and not December 15th. So I think we'd have to have another motion to amend them further.
So we'll just do a whole fresh motion instead of having them amend it. So with the two adjustments. So can I get a motion to accept the minutes with not only the change to November 15th, is that correct?
Yeah.
As well as the, after complete review and revision of the bylaws by Noe.
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion by David. There's support.
Support.
Support by Drake. Any further discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, the same. All right, we've adjusted and accepted the minutes into the record. All right, so again, we're going to be moving into a new phase. Emily is now armed with a new logo and it's a new mission statement. We'll be able to update some of our websites, and really by next meeting, I'm hoping that, and I will help Emily, we can get together. If you remember that Mylan brochure where they had different giving levels, like 5,000, 1,000, whatever the case may be, ongoing, we want to look for multi-year commitments. We don't have to get those commitments before December. We just have to have the plan of what we're going and how and when we're going to ask for it, who we're asking for it. And you've seen the spreadsheet before. I don't have it in front of us, but we'll have it in our next meeting. So for approval so that we can submit it to the Main Street group. So just want to let you know we're still on that. All right, Michelle, I don't know if I told you this, but we have Annie Howard with us today, and I want to give her a co-host so that she can take control of the screen. She is a teacher and she's with APS, and she wants to talk about arts in downtown. And so if you all would just welcome Annie, and great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. And wow, this has been a really cool meeting to sit in on. You are really making the city sparkle and just bringing so much life to it. And so thank you for the work you do, DDA. My name is Annie Howard. I am an art teacher in the Adrian Public Schools, as well as the fine arts coordinator for the district. And we have run into a little snag called COVID this year. Have you heard of it? We have not been able to have the public in our school buildings as we normally desire and do. With this, we are unable to display the work that our students have been doing visually, and we have moved to digital formats on our website as well as our Facebook page, Maple Pride. However, that still only serves a small population, which would be just in our district, the families related to it. So I would like to propose an idea to the DDA, and then from there move forward to the local downtown businesses and ask for your support with having approaching businesses with the desire to have 1 to 2 pieces of art from Adrian Public Schools, kindergarten through 12th grade students, displayed in the windows facing the streets, so that we can get families to see art. We can get the community to see art that our students are creating, and also get people downtown, and hopefully they'll become patrons of the businesses and be able to see the art at any time. And that's it. So just wondering if you would support that idea, and whether I could approach the businesses to start making that magic happen.
What's
Great
everybody
idea.
think? Anybody have a problem with that?
I love it. I think it's a great idea.
I just want to give her formal support from the DDA. So if somebody would make a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved by Meredith. Is there support?
Support.
Support by
Diane.
Diane. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, the same. All right, Annie, go at it. Make
All
it
right,
happen.
I did leave my contact in the chat, so you can see my email address and phone number if you do need anything. Go Maples, thank you.
All right, thank you. Love the energy. And I appreciate everybody today. Don't have any real comments except that we're just continuing to move forward. Some been great committee work that's been happening, and that's really what I've always envisioned. And when an organization becomes effective, some of that work is done off the meeting times and really in between meeting times. So I think that's been really happening well, and I can't thank you all enough, and I appreciate it. We'll move into public comment. Anybody in the public that would like to make comment to the DDA?
Mr. Chair, I just want to note that I left in chat a link to the so-called virtual open house for the Planning Commission's new master plan. There's a short survey that's part of that as well. If y'all get the chance to take a look at that, we appreciate it.
Does everybody see that in the chat? I'm sure any feedback would be greatly appreciated. So if anybody would like to hear everybody, or at least see everybody try to participate in that, it's an important process that they're going through. Any other public comment? Michelle, can you give us a quick update on First Fridays again, or what there was a virtual something? I don't know if you can. I'm not being very articulate there, but.
So we had November 1st Friday, and we will also have December 1st Friday. And with that, we'll do a holiday open house Friday and Saturday of that weekend. We've had requests from businesses to still have a in-person open house. So we're going to go ahead and do that for the businesses that want to participate. But we're also having it's like a digital holiday shopping guide. Businesses have a form they can submit photos, different categories of things that they have available, services, kind of like those holiday gift guides you see. So we'll have that up on the downtown section of the website, and we'll promote that throughout the holiday season. And if nothing else, it will let people kind of see what's downtown, and hopefully spark their interest to come down and do some shopping.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. That was good work. Any other public comments? Times have changed. All right, other DDA business matters. Any other new business that anybody would like to bring to the table? All right, board member comments.
Mr. Chair, I just have one comment.
Sure.
Obviously, today is Veterans Day, November 11th. So I just want to say thanks to all veterans, military personnel, nurses, everybody out there on the front lines. So thank you for supporting our country.
Excellent, David. Thank you for saying that. Any other comments?
Dusty, can you hear me? This is Matt.
Okay. Hi, Matt.
Hey, just want to let everybody know that we are doing a ribbon cutting for Mammoth Distillery on the Friday the 20th at 2 p.m. So Mammoth Distillery, 2 p.m. on Friday the 20th.
Free samples?
I cannot confirm nor deny, but probably a good chance.
Mayor Heath, are you still here?
Yes, I am. And I did finally get the info. They've just been really busy. I will send it to you.
Okay, so do they fill everything out?
I recently got it. So yes.
Okay, perfect.
And they do want to participate.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, so we'll be working with Mammoth to get all their paperwork filed for the DARA district as well. So look forward to one more addition to our DARA district, which will be awesome.
Thank you.
So that would take, I'll take an action item, actually, I think we pre-approved for 11 businesses. So and we paid for their application fee as well as their cups.
I'd like to, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we add one more and pay for that as per the other 11.
There's been a motion by Mark. Is there a second?
So moved.
All right, so there's motion and support. Any further discussion?
So does that mean that we are paying for their application as well? Because I thought we had discussed at the ribbon cutting that the possibility that now, once we are set, that everybody that adds in from here on out would be doing that on their own? Or is that not? I guess I'm confused as where we're headed for the future. I'm just asking, I mean, if we want to add Mammoth, I'm fine with that. I'm just asking you know, for the future, like what if we get, you know, more bars or restaurants downtown now and they want to add in like in a year or whenever it might be.
Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
we did. Go ahead, Mark.
I would consider withdrawing the motion and or amending it to say that we have 12 disciples in the group and then we close it there. And any action from here on would be an individual decision that would be made, or yeah, like that.
I mean, given that we're just, you know, a few weeks into kicking this
Right.
off, this feels to me like it's kind of sliding in under that initial, you know, batch.
Yeah, I agree. And that was, we were just talking about it because we started talking about what if a lot more start coming in now that we were having that discussion and in saying that, you know, 6 months from now, we might have more that decide to come downtown and now they're going to try to join in and where were we going to go from there? You know, so I think as long as we have a plan, like I said, we are so close to this just starting. And I feel like that's a nice welcome to Mammoth as well, if we include them. But I just feel like we need to have it set so that we don't have businesses every like 6 months coming back to the DA or, you know, every year or whatever it might be, trying to, you know, ask for that later on. At least have a plan set for the future.
Would we want to have a cutoff point, say the end of the year? So anybody who comes in before the end of the year, we would in good faith cover, but then after that, they would pay for their own?
Or we can just make the amendment just to accept Mammoth, and any other further applicants will have to pay for their own permit moving forward.
So I'm going to take the other side of this for a minute, just so that we make a good decision here. If we got 5 more, 7 more businesses and it made it feel like we were strapped because we forked out $500 for each of them, I don't see the runaway situation there. I sure hope we have 5 or 7 more restaurants in downtown. It'd be tremendous. And it's almost like a welcoming thing is, hey, look what we've done for you. And we did this to the other businesses. So I don't feel this runaway financial obligation that's going to take place because we leave it open-ended. I think we'd motion on each one of them, but I'm just going to take the opposite on that.
So, Mr. Chair, let me one last time remove the previous motion. I'd like to move that we approve Mammoth straight out as a singular motion on this particular activity and not address any other ones at this time.
There's been a motion by Mark for singular acceptance of Mammoth to pay for.
I'll second.
There's been a second by David. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. All right, thank you. Sometimes I'll do that. I don't mean to, but I sure hope we get like 10 new restaurants in downtown and bars. Be great. And more retail, Diane. I'm not leaving you out, I promise. All right. So any other comments from the board?
Mr. Chair, I have a quick comment if I may.
Sure.
This is a geezer comment. I've been watching and been around a long time in the city. And I can't tell you, Mr. Chair, how proud I am of being a resident of the city as I look at the city commission, the city administration, the DDA, and all the wonderful things that have happened in Adrian the last number of years, and where we're standing today on the precipice of a fantastic growth and improvement in the next few years. And I just think it's important to recognize that we've been able to accomplish so many things that we haven't been able to do over the previous decades. And I just really want to commend all of those here for the support that we've had to come together, be a team, work together to make our community a better place. So thanks everyone for that.
Thank you, Mark, for those comments. Any other comments from the board? Hearing none, there really doesn't need to be a motion to adjourn. I just want to thank everybody for being here, and we'll meet again in December. And I appreciate everybody's commitment to our downtown.
Thank
everybody, have a wonderful day.
Hey, Dusty, Jim, I'm available now up until 10 too, if that makes a difference.
I'll call you in just a minute then.
Okay.
All right, thanks.